So in this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to model up different roof options on this model. And as you can see, this is a standard hip and valley roof that was put in at the conclusion of the modeling up the house video. And if we go through some different design options for the roof, I think that'll give you a better understanding on how to work with 3D. And to start off with, I'm going to go back into 2D. So with certain things, it's good to shuffle between 2D and 3D to make sure things are accurate. For starters, we're down here at the roof plan. And if I put on propose lower, and if I right click and press show trace, it'll show the floor plan underneath the roof, just as a trace underneath, which is very helpful to assist in designing the roof. And for now, I'm just going to drag this over this roof. I'm going to drag it over, and I'm going to drag it over 30 meters, and that's just going to sit there if in case I want to use that roof later. And now I'm going to show you how to put a different style roof on there. And I'm going to stay on the roof plan. I can go to the floor plan and put that roof on, which I might actually do. I'm going to go to the lower floor plan, and I'm going to go to the roof option over here. And if you, this geometry method multi-plane, that's what I used originally. And I just clicked on that and I pressed the space bar. And once I get close to the house, it'll automatically generate a roof. And then I'll just click, and then it would show it there. That's the roof that we've put over there. But I'm going to put a different style roof on there today. I'm going to do a skillion style roof, which is, it goes one way. And I'm going to zoom in now that I've clicked on that. I'm going to click here, and this is on a different layer, the roof. It's under roof structure. And so if this comes up, I'm going to press show layer. It means that layer wasn't originally shown, but now I want to show it. And then I draw a straight line on that wall and click once. Click the side I want the roof to rise up, and it's going to be this side. And then I can draw it, and I want the roof to start here, which is the lowest part of the house, lowest part of the roof. And I bring it over and click on that and bring it, for example, for now, we're going to bring it to here, and then we can work on it a bit more later. So the pen goes black when I'm in the corner, and that's where I want to snap it to. So I can press escape now. Otherwise, if I try to click and adjust things again, it's going to bring up the roof settings. So I need to press escape to get out of those settings now. And now I can click on the roof and click in, and I can click in the middle and put insert a new node and click on the corner. Then I can click on this part of the roof, and I can press offset edge. And I can drag it out to this edge of the house. And I want to have a bit of an eave going around the sides, probably 450 mil from the brick. So I can click on the line there, and if I click on this option, offset all edges, it can drag it out, and I press R and put in 450 and press enter. And zoom out, and now that's showing it's been offset to all edges, which is good. And what I can do now is press escape and press alt, click, and I'm going to do the same thing on this side of the house. Click, click, click the side I want it to raise, and then click on the brickwork, draw a straight line, click, bring it over, and I'll probably just put it against this corner for now, and then we can look at it in 3D, and I can iron it out then. Same thing, I can offset all edges, but I will want to bring this one back into its position. So if I press offset all edges and then R450, enter, and then zoom in and click on this edge, and I want to bring this back in again to line up with that brickwork just so. So now I can have a look at that in 3D. And let's click on front left, and you can see the roof is shown there and it's sitting a bit high. So if I click on that roof and press shift, click, and now that highlights both parts of the roof. And if I go up to here, this is showing where that roof is, that little blue point there. This is showing where the height, what it's set to, where it's linked to. So currently that's at 0. It should actually be on ceiling level, CL. If I click on that and then I put this on 0, that brings it down now. So that snapped it there at that ceiling height. But I actually want to, yeah, no, we'll keep it like that. So from here, we can work on adjusting the angles of the roof. And I'm probably going to make this one, let's see what it looks like at 15 degrees, enter. And this one, we can make it at 10 degrees, enter. Okay, and if you want, just as we work on designing this up to see how it looks, you can click on the external walls that are under the roof and hold the shift key each time, and that'll keep highlighting everything at once. Once they're all highlighted, click. You don't have to hold the shift key at this point. You can just click on the wall, and this option here lets you rise up all the walls, and they're raised up through the roof now. And from here, there's a few options. You can right click and crop to single plane roof. This is what I usually do. Click, crop, and that will press escape, and that will cut all the walls down underneath the roof. And obviously these gutters would change for a scullion roof. So I'm going to click on that roof. I'm going to hold shift and bring it over. And I'm going to put 30, 00. That's going to line it up with that roof that we put to the side earlier. So that's out of the way. Now this does look a little high. Depends on the client's taste. I would bring this down to probably 12.5, maybe even 10. And make this one 7.5. I think that would be a bit more modest. And so hold shift key on the walls that I want to adjust. All these walls here. And then I can just press crop again. Right click, crop, crop. Any part sticking out, just click on it, press crop single plane, crop, and that adjusts it. And then we're just drawing a roof above that. But for now, I'm just going to have a look at this and see if it looks good. That's basically a ski-in style roof. And then you just put your gutters in here. And I like to cut corners where I can to speed up the process. If it doesn't need as much detail, I don't like to add it. So if I click on the slab, that's on the gutter layer, and click on that corner and click on this corner and then bring it out and press 100, and that's your gutter. Click on it, and it needs to be 100 high. And we'll just leave it like that for now. I'll click on the roof, go to the settings, and I've got a darker roof already set up in here, dark ColourBond roof look. And I'll go into the settings and click on the side and make that sort of like a dark gray or anthracite sort of color that kind of blends well with top of the roof. And then I'd click on that gutter, right click, slab, go to color, and scroll through to the anthracite as well. Then click on it, Control Shift D, click on the corner, and then I'll just drag a copy over. That goes through there. So I'd zoom in, click on that edge, click on that option, And then I'd come back to there and click. And then I'd just Control Shift D, click on that black dot, bring a copy over. And then click on that and bring it over again to that corner. And that's how I put the gutters in. You can see there's a gutter on both sides now. And then I'd put maybe a square looking roof over the porch so that you can got somewhere to walk in without getting wet. So at this point, I would go back to 2D just to speed it up. I'd grab a column, click, press escape, click on the column, change the overall size. I want it 90 by 90, press enter. Control D, click on that corner, Control D, click on that edge and just bring it out to there. And I'm just going to measure it from memory. It's 1500. That's where I'm going to have the post. And then I'm going to put another roof in. If I click on that roof and I click here, draw a straight line. I want the high side over here. Then click, click, click. Then if we go to front left, you can see that roof's in there now. And I want to lower that roof down. I probably want the underside of that at maybe 2.4. So we'll bring it down 300 mil to 2.4. And I can click on the post, Control T, click here, and I can scroll through and change it to like a timber look. And I can click on it and click rise, bring it up through the roof, press right click and crop. And that crops it down. So you could have a roof like that, and you could Alt, click on that. You've got a gutter, another gutter here. That's your skiing style roof there. And that one's 10 degrees. This one's 7.5. I'd probably match this at 7.5. And I think that looks a bit better. And roof, I could just press Alt on that wall and click up here and change it to 90 mil. And it's going to be a different wall up here. So it can be a bit tricky working on this part. So I'll just click on the corner of that roof for now, just because I know it's an accurate position. I can zoom in and click, and that's where it's going to draw that wall and it crops it automatically. Now that's going to change. That wouldn't be brick up there. That would be timber. And I want to change that to siding or cladding. And I'll change it to say white for now. And I'd click on that edge now, click on this, and I'd bring it back in line with there. That's where the edge of the wall is. Press escape. You can see this is white and not the same color as that cladding. So I'd click on this brick, right click wall settings, change this one here, which is the center, and put it on that same option of siding white. Okay, and now that matches, although it's slightly different lines there, but that's minor detail which might not be noticed. So I'd click on that black dot and bring that back now to there as well. It's kind of done a bit of an error there as well. So I can go through here and put siding on as well, white. Okay, and that's kind of fixed it. So you'd have lightweight timber cladding up above the roof there. You could have it above here as well, but yeah, it looks a bit better in my opinion, have brick all the way up. Now if we click to those different options earlier, if you wanted to show the client a few different views and you got the floor plan confirmed, what you could do is just go back to 2D and highlight the whole lot, press Control Shift D and press R, 50 meters, separate them 50 meters apart. And if you make that big enough and press FN, F5, you can see them all the different versions, and you could basically bring that roof over, click on those roofs and get rid of them. And you'd basically, the client can see the different facade options. And I'm just going to press Control Z just to undo everything now and go back to what I had it at. Okay, and so we can just work on this for a bit. So that's the skiing roof. And now if I want to make this look a bit more modern at the front, I would actually make this flat roof over the garage and just keep the skiing roof here. And I'd make that skiing roof, I'd put that back up at maybe 12.5. This one here, I'd make that say 3 degrees, quite a low pitch, so that it can sit behind a parapet wall. And I'd click on that edge and bring it back on the inside of that wall. And same with this edge, I'd bring that on the inside of that wall. And if any of this gets a bit hard, just zoom in if you need to and click on the corners where the dots are, where the ticks are and stuff, just to get it more accurate. And I'll bring it over there. So you can do all this in 2D if that's easier, which it usually is. Click on this wall and I'd raise that up maybe 500. And this one, I'm going to click and undo all crops. Then I'm going to click on that wall, click on that, click here, bring it down to there. And I want this front wall to sit maybe 100 mil at least above the roof. And so that needs to go up slightly more. I'd click up here on the wall settings, make that 600, enter. And that's where I'm going to have the highest part of the wall. And this one needs to match it. So I could press Alt and then Control Alt, click, and that'll match it. And that's going to be your flat look roof. And this, you could have a box gutter behind there. But actually what I like to do is click and I'd just bring that down and I'd have that roof lined up with the edge and I'd put a gutter. I'd put a gutter right here just because it's better to avoid the box gutters where you can. And I don't think you really, I think it still looks good enough with the gutter sitting right on the edge. And then I would bring that back in, lined up with that wall. And I would Alt on that. Actually, what I'd do is I'd click on that roof, this one here, undo all crops, click on the wall and bring it down, maybe to the same height as the front one. And I'd click on this roof and bring that back in line. I would click on that wall, bring that down to the underside of the roof. Click, bring that out to the edge there. So that needs to come up slightly. And then I'd bring that gutter there. So this wall here, I'd probably drag that to the outside there of that wall and click on that and crop it. And we'll just do it like that. And then I want to get that flat look definitely at the back here. Whereas up the sides, I could just put the gutter on the side because you're not really going to look up too often on the sides anyway. So I've just dragged that roof back on the other side of that wall, and then I can do the same here with the gutter. And with this wall, I'm going to undo all crops. I can Alt that front wall and Control Alt to the front just to change it quickly. I can click on that high wall we put in before, and actually I'll leave it there for now. Click on this roof, drag it over to the inside of that wall. And same here, I'm not going to bother having an eave on the side just so that I can put the gutter up against the roof. And then I'll just zoom in and I can grab the gutter and click it on the corner there. So on the sides, basically there's no eave. Down in Tasmania, that's okay because we've got awning windows that act as like an eave anyway, because they're going to open from the bottom, top hung. And the rain is going to hit the top of it anyway. It's going to be angled always. So you're not really going to get rain in there. You're able to still open it. And that's enough opening in Tasmania because it's quite windy. Okay. And then I'll go back to the front here and click on this wall and undo all crops. And then I can crop it again, click and press crop. That's going to crop now to that new angle of the roof. This roof, I'm going to press undo all crops. I'm going to click on that wall and bring it down in line with this other one. And this wall here, the reason it's like that is that wall, this roof needs to come out and extend out a bit further, maybe in line with that. And then I can crop it again. And click here and click there and click there and just lower it down and press. I want to undo all that, undo all crops. And I'm going to click on this edge here on the blue side and click on that option. And that allows you to adjust it over to line up with that roof. And I'm going to lower that down again. Just right click, crop. Okay, now we're starting to get a bit of a different look and I think it looks better, but this roof needs to come down lower. There's no reason for it to be up so high. I'm going to click on it and grab the bottom of that roof, and I'm just going to check the height of the ceiling there by seeing where that tick is, and that's 2667, and we can make that 24, maybe 2600 is probably accurate because we'll probably have an upstand there. Maybe we can get away without an upstand, so I might bring it down 267, enter. So that bottom of that roof will be at 2.4 meters, which is what the ceiling height's going to be inside. And I'm going to click on these walls again and tidy that up, and right click, crop to single plane. I'm going to grab the gutter. That gutter is actually in the right position. And that ceiling for now, I'm just going to actually bring that down. That should be minus 300. And then I'm going to click on any wall that's sticking out above the roof. I'm going to press shift and click on them. And then I'm going to, while making sure I'm not clicking on anything else, I'm going to right click and crop. And for now, this here, I'm going to make that 2400. That's that bulkhead in the kitchen. And I'll go back to this wall and crop that again. Okay, now we're starting to look a little bit better here now. I'm thinking that roof needs to come over a little bit more. So I'd click on it and bring it out 600 mil. And I think we'll get a flat look around this porch as well. I think would look really good. So what I can do is actually click on that by holding Alt and clicking on it. And then I would click on the corner here and draw a straight wall out till it comes out straight. You can rotate around just to make sure that's straight. You can always do this in 2D if it's easier, but it just takes a bit longer to do it that way. But it is more accurate when you don't know how to use ArchiCAD as well. So then I'll click on that and bring that down to the bottom of the roof here in line then, and I'll click on the blue part and bring it back in line with the post. And then I'm going to click on that roof and take it that way 90 mil on the other side of that wall. And I'm going to click on the top of that, click this option, bring it down in line with the top of that wall there. And this post, I'm going to bring it down to the bottom of that wall so that it's not showing that glitch where that cladding was a bit was missing. Then I can click on that gutter and bring it to the inside there. And that's how that rainwater is going to come off that roof. This parapet, timber parapet, actually doesn't need to go as high up there. So we could, change that. We could bring that down by clicking on the wall settings. I can make that not as high. We'll go not linked and I'll change that 600 high. So it could be just as simple as something like that, and you could change that to whatever material you want. I'm going to give this a bit of a better look, I think. So I would bring the slab out another 300 mil and I would thicken this up here to make it a brick pier. And right click and change it to the black brick, just like the rest of it, and press OK. And then just to make sure things are straight in 3D, I'll drag it over to there and drag it to there and press, say, 1200. And I'd bring it out right to the edge, actually, another 250. And then I can click on that and click this blue side here where the dot is and click that option that lets me extend it out in line with that. And then I'd right click that, undo all crops, because for some reason I was a bit missing there. Then I'd click on this roof and bring it out in line with the brick pier there. Click on that gutter and bring it out in line there. And I think already that's starting to look a bit better now. And now, for example, yeah, no, I think that's all right. I think that's good. You know, you could put another parapet in there if you wanted to. Click and get rid of that gutter and have a box gutter inside if you wanted to. Again, all these materials can be changed, and probably would look better if this roof was actually raised back up another 200 mil, I think, proportionately. And then I bring that gutter, click on that gutter and bring it up, and click on these walls again. So it's just those two, and then undo all crops. Click on it and crop again. That'll crop it now to that new height, and I think that's starting to look a bit more proportionate there now. I think it would actually look better to have an eve on that side now that I'm looking at it. So I've just brought it at 450, and I'll bring that gutter out with it. I think that's looking a bit better with the gutter actually. And it would have been good to actually get this down a bit lower. And that is actually, I might bring that down to 292, so 2.4 meters at the underside there. And click on that wall, and I'm going to crop it again. Click on that gutter, bring it down to the top of that. So basically, a lot of the modeling is just, especially in the design aspect of it, you play around with it until it looks good for the client. You want to make things proportionate. And crop. And crop. So this is cropping to the new height now. And then I'd bring the gutters down, click and click. Okay, it doesn't have to be as high there now at the back. We do have that roof coming all the way out. Depends what you want at the back there. For the front for now, that's where we're going with it, with the facade. And this would actually, if you click there, that's sitting on the other side. And if you brought it back 200 mil, that's where your box gutter would go in there. And then you could have a downpipe running down the back side of the pier, inside the pier, or down this side. Or even, yeah, that's the options you'd go with. Now that door, I've got a nice big 1200 door there, and I think that looks good. Nice big fixed glass window at the front. I think the flat roof look with the skiing is a nice combination. It's looks modern, gives it a little bit of character. And now with this part, I can bring this back up again. Press undo, click on it, bring it down low to the bottom there, and then crop it. That would be your cladding going over the top. And I'd click on that and probably line it up with the edge of that inside of that brick wall, and then bring it up above. Undo all crops, click and crop it again. That's looking a bit better. Now that's shooting out a bit there, so I need to click on that blue part where the dot is and bring it back to the corner of that roof there. That sort of snaps it in there behind there. Now the front looks good. Now with this is a very low 3-degree pitch there, we can actually bring that, because I was thinking that this brick garage is a little bit high. So if I click on that now, I can click on the corner and bring it down in line with that porch. You know, depends on your preference and everything. I'll keep it up high, I think. So I'm going to go back on that roof again, and I'm going to make that at a 5-degree pitch. It's better to get 5 degrees if you can and not go under that, because it gives you a bit more flexibility with the amount, different types of roof sheeting, because a lot of them only go to 5-degree pitch and they don't go lower. Whereas if you go under 5 degrees, you're limited with your styles of roof sheeting. So if I click on those walls and undo crops, and then I'm going to crop them again to that new height, crop. And then I'll just grab that gutter again and bring it up. Click on that gutter and bring it down to the top there. It's all lined up now. And at the back, I think we would just go with the skiing look as well. So I'm just going to bring that down to there, and I'm going to click on the roof, bring it out 450 mil outside of the wall, and then click on that wall again and bring the wall up through the roof like that, and then right click and crop to single plane, and then that'll snap it down. Then I'll grab that gutter and extend it out. Same here. That's looking better, I think. And you could put some highlight windows there if you want. And have a raked ceiling there somewhere if you wanted to. So that just gives you an idea of how to work with the roofs, with the ski-in style roof, and how you can adjust things. And I hope that you've learned something from this tutorial. Until next time, chat to you soon.